When you finally understand the secret of consciousness, you'll realize that no one outside of you is separate from you. The one you call your person lives only in the state of your awareness. Their actions, their words, their thoughts toward you, all of it springs from the image you hold within yourself. The moment you change that inner image, the outer reflection must change to match it. That is the divine law. This is the secret. Stop thinking of your person as someone out there who must be convinced to love you. Instead, begin to feel that they already do. Stop yearning. Stop waiting. Enter the state where you are already chosen, already desired, already deeply loved. Let that feeling become natural, like breathing. When you do this, you magnetize them effortlessly, because consciousness is the only creative power in the universe. Right now, imagine this: they are thinking of you. Not in some distant future, not after you send a message, not when conditions are right, but now. Imagine them lying awake, unable to shake you from their mind. Imagine them smiling at the memory of your presence, feeling a deep pull they can't explain. Don't hope for it. Don't wish for it. Feel it as though it is done, because in imagination it already is. Your imagination is not a daydream. It is reality clothed in the unseen. The unseen becomes seen when you persist in your assumption. So every time your old mind whispers, "They don't care," or "They've moved on," gently return to the truth. They are thinking of me right now. I live in their heart. I am loved, wanted, and chosen. Speak those words inwardly, not as a desperate plea, but as a calm knowing. And soon, the outer world will echo the inner. You'll notice the subtle signs. Their name appears unexpectedly. You feel their presence. You dream of them. And then suddenly, the contact comes. But it won't surprise you, because you will know it was already done the moment you accepted it as true within yourself. You are the operant power. There is no one to change but self. When you align your inner conversation with the reality you desire, the universe rearranges itself to mirror your conviction. That's the secret. Not manipulation, not chasing, not waiting. Just the quiet mastery of your own inner state. So tonight, as you close your eyes, feel the warmth of their love surrounding you. Hear their voice in your imagination saying, "I can't stop thinking about you." Let it move through you until it feels real, because it is. You are the dreamer awakening to the truth that your imagination is God in action. The world bends to your inner word. Speak love from within, and it will return to you multiplied. That is the secret that makes them think of you, not as a coincidence, but as destiny responding to the vibration of your assumption. Your person cannot stop thinking of you when you at last discover the creative power of your own awareness. You are not a helpless observer, waiting for signs from the outside world to tell you what to believe. You are the source of every sign. You are the one who sets the cause in motion. It is not their thoughts that shape your reality. It is your assumption of their thoughts that summons them into being. You hold the key to their mind, not through manipulation, but through a higher law, the law of consciousness. When you enter the state where you are already desired, already cherished, already living as the beloved, their mind naturally bends to the image you project. They cannot help it. This is not coercion. It is resonance. Spirit meets spirit. Thought meets thought. And what you assume inwardly is what they experience outwardly. Every great teacher has said, in one form or another, as within, so without. The world you see is nothing more than the mirror of the world you do not see. The secret is not a technique. It is a state of being. It is a gentle shift from hoping to knowing, from longing to fulfillment. The instant you feel yourself as already loved, you send out an invisible signal. It is not a signal your person can resist, because it is not coming from your mouth or your actions. It comes from the field of awareness in which they already live. They will find themselves thinking of you in the grocery store, in a meeting, in their car, in the quiet moments before sleep. They will feel a stirring, a magnetism, a pull. They will not be able to trace its source, but you will know. You will know it began the moment you claimed your inner reality as true. Most people live their lives waiting for evidence. They say, "I'll believe they're thinking of me when they call." But the law works in reverse. Believe first, and you shall receive. This is why so many fail. They cling to the outer world as though it were primary. They chase, they plead, they manipulate, they try to impress. And yet nothing moves, because the inner image remains unchanged. The universe is not mocked. It gives you what you assume to be true. Not what you hope, not what you beg, but what you inwardly accept. Once you grasp this, you will stop asking how to make someone think of you. You will start asking how to dwell in the state of being already thought of, already loved. And in that dwelling, the outer must obey the inner. Close your eyes now and imagine your person. Not as someone far away, not as someone separate, but as one with you in consciousness. See them sitting quietly, their eyes distant. Feel the warmth in their chest as your image rises unbidden to their mind. They don't know why, but you do. You planted that image through your own assumption. This is not fantasy, this is creation. In imagination, all things exist, and what you persist in imagining hardens into fact. This is the principle behind every answered prayer, every manifestation, every so-called miracle. You are not sending thoughts to them like arrows. You are simply shifting into the state where you and they are already connected. And because consciousness is one, they must feel it. Many ask, but what about free will? Free will operates only within the state a person occupies. Change the state, and the thoughts, feelings, and actions of that person change accordingly. When you imagine your person as cold or distant, you occupy a state in which they are cold and distant. When you imagine your person as warm, loving, and obsessed with you, you occupy a state in which they are warm, loving, and obsessed. You are not overriding their will. You are selecting the version of them you prefer to experience. This is the great secret the world calls magic. It is not magic, it is law. The key is persistence. A moment's assumption is enough to set a seed, but like any seed, it must be nurtured. Do not plant the seed of being loved, and then dig it up with doubt. When the old thoughts arise, and they will, gently return to your new state. See yourself as the chosen one, the beloved, the only one in their mind. Hear their voice in your imagination. Feel their embrace. Make it real, vivid. Sensory, the more real it feels inwardly, the more inevitable it becomes outwardly. The world cannot resist a firmly held assumption. It will bend, twist, and rearrange itself to make your inner word flesh. You have already experienced this law unconsciously. Think of the times you assumed someone disliked you, and then they began to act distant. Or the times you assumed good news was coming, and it arrived. You are already a master manifester. You simply haven't realized it. Now you are called to use it consciously. No more hoping. No more waiting. You are the operant power. Say it inwardly. I am the operant power. Feel the truth of it. This is not arrogance. This is alignment with the creative source within you. The same power that created the universe lives in your imagination. When you use it with love, you harm no one. You simply awaken the version of your person who already loves you. Take a deep breath and feel the shift. Imagine tonight as they lie in bed, they cannot stop thinking of you. They replay your smile. They hear your laughter. They feel an urge to reach out. They may resist for a time, but the pull grows stronger because consciousness precedes action. The call, the text, the encounter. These are mere shadows. The reality is your inner assumption. Once you have claimed it, the outer must follow. Do not measure time. This is another trap. You plant a seed and then stare at the ground, wondering why it hasn't sprouted. Time is irrelevant to imagination. In the invisible realm, it is already done. Your job is not to force the manifestation, but to dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When doubt comes, do not fight it. Gently return to your state. Like a musician returning to the key of the song, return to the note of being loved. This is the discipline of consciousness, and it will not fail you. The secret that makes your person think of you is not a ritual, not a script, not a special message. It is the simple but profound act of assuming the end and living from it. Live from the end. Speak from the end. Feel from the end. The end is you already loved, already desired, already unforgettable. When you live from that end, the bridge of events will unfold naturally. They will think of you, dream of you, be drawn to you. They may take actions that surprise even them, but you will not be surprised. You will smile, because you will know you have been living from the end all along. Begin now, right now. Close your eyes and feel what it is like to be so deeply loved, so persistently thought of, that your person cannot escape the thought of you. Feel the security of it. Feel the warmth. Feel the excitement. Make it real. And as you move through your day, carry that inner state like a precious jewel. Do not speak of lack. Do not look for signs. Simply be. And in being, you create. Every great manifestation begins with a simple decision. I am the one. Decide now. Decide to be the one who is thought of, desired, cherished. Decide to live as though it is already true, because it is. In imagination, it is finished, and the outer world will catch up. As you practice this, you will notice a change not only in them, but in you. You will feel calmer, more confident, more radiant. This is the byproduct of living in the state of fulfillment. You are no longer a beggar. You are a creator. You are no longer chasing. You are attracting. You are no longer hoping. You are knowing. And this knowing is magnetic. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will open. Life will mirror your new assumption in countless ways. Remember, the law does not discriminate. It works for all alike. Whether you are imagining love, wealth, health, or success, the process is the same. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persist. Let the outer conform to the inner. This is the path of mastery. And once you have tasted it, you will never go back to the old way of living. So, tonight, before you sleep, enter the silence. Let the outer world fade. In the stillness of your imagination, feel your person thinking of you, longing for you, loving you. Hear their voice. Feel their touch. See their eyes looking at you with adoration, and drift off to sleep in that state. Do this consistently, and you will awaken to a new world, a world in which your assumption has become fact. This is the secret, the real secret. It is not in books or videos or techniques. It is in you. It has always been in you. You are the dreamer and the dream. You are the cause and the effect. And when you claim your power, your person cannot help but think of you. Because in truth, there is no separation. They are already thinking of you, because in consciousness you are already one. And so, beloved, understand this. Nothing stands between you and the love you desire except your own disbelief. The moment you dare to assume that you are already loved, already chosen, already living in the fullness of that relationship, creation begins to move in your favor. You are not waiting for your person to wake up and realize your worth. You are awakening to the truth that they already do. Every thought you persist in shapes the unseen. Every feeling you entertain becomes flesh in time. So release the struggle. Stop asking when or how. Simply rest in the knowing that what you have imagined is already accomplished. The universe cannot deny the one who knows their word is law. When you live in the end, when you walk through your days clothed in the feeling of being desired, the world must echo it. Your person will think of you, reach for you, and love you, not because you forced them to, but because you aligned with the truth of who you are, the creator, the dreamer, the one consciousness through which all love flows. Carry that awareness quietly and confidently. Let it saturate your every breath, and soon, the very thing you once longed for will stand before you, drawn not by effort, but by the magnetic certainty of your inner knowing. Because when you live as though it is done, it is done. That is the eternal law. That is the secret that makes them think of you, dream of you, and love you endlessly. There comes a moment in your journey when you must stop asking how and start imagining. Because the world does not respond to effort, it responds to consciousness. You have been trying, chasing, waiting, worrying, and yet, the thing you truly want begins to move toward you only when you shift your inner state. They will chase you the moment you imagine this, that you are already chosen, already desired, already loved beyond measure. You see, nothing changes until your imagination changes. You can repeat words, you can perform rituals, you can try to control behavior, but all of it is meaningless if your inner world remains in lack. The one you want, the love you seek, the recognition you crave, they do not come because you plead for them. They come because you have become the vibration that already possesses them. You must dare to feel the thrill of being desired before it happens. You must walk through your day as if the call has already come, as if the message has already been sent, as if the one you love cannot take their mind off you. This is the secret, the divine secret that changes everything. You must imagine the end. Don't picture them chasing you. Imagine that it's already done. Imagine the reality where they already adore you, where you are already together, where the feeling of being loved is natural. Feel the warmth of their affection, the certainty of their attention, the ease of their presence. Do not force the scene. Let it flow from the heart. The moment you imagine yourself as loved, desired, and wanted, everything begins to rearrange itself to match that inner picture, because consciousness is the only cause. Your outer world is not a random set of events. It is a mirror of your dominant assumptions. If you assume you are ignored, you will be. If you assume you are irresistible, you will be. The power lies not in the person, but in your assumption about yourself in relation to them. The moment you stop imagining yourself as one who waits and begin imagining yourself as one who is, you shift timelines. The unseen forces of the universe conspire to make it real. Think of it, the moment you hold an image of yourself as already wanted, your energy transforms. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer seek, you radiate. You no longer fear loss, you dwell in the certainty of possession. And people feel that energy. They don't know why they can't stop thinking of you. They don't understand what has changed, but something about you pulls them in. That's because reality bends around your inner conviction. You must learn to fall in love with the unseen moment, the moment before manifestation. That invisible space is where the magic happens, when you can close your eyes and see yourself in the state you desire and feel it real. You plant the seed of destiny. And once the seed is planted, it must grow. You don't have to force it, beg for it, or wonder when. It's already unfolding in divine order. The only thing required of you is to remain faithful to that inner vision. So imagine that you are already the one who has it all. Imagine walking through your world as one who is deeply loved, pursued, and adored. Imagine the joy of being chosen. Not as something to come, but as something that is. Don't wait for proof, become the proof. Feel the emotions of fulfillment now. Let your imagination build the inner scene until it feels natural. And when it does, something powerful happens. You release resistance. You stop looking to the outer world for confirmation. And that's when the outer world begins to confirm it. They will chase you the moment you imagine this. The version of yourself who is already enough, already worthy, already loved. This is not arrogance, it is divine remembrance. You are remembering who you truly are, the one who gives meaning to all things. When you assume the state of being loved, life mirrors that back. When you live from the end becomes inevitable. So tonight, before you sleep, close your eyes and imagine this: someone thinking of you, missing you, longing for your presence. Feel it so deeply that you can almost hear their voice calling your name. Rest in that feeling, not as a wish, but as a fact. Let your imagination paint it in color, texture, and emotion until it feels more real than the world outside. Do this not once, but until it becomes your dwelling place. For when the inner state becomes natural, the outer must follow. And then it will seem as if they suddenly began to chase you. But in truth, they are only responding to the new vibration you have embodied. Everything begins in imagination. Everything starts within. Change your self-concept, and the world will change its response. They will chase you not because you demanded it, but because you became the one who could not be ignored. The moment you imagine this, yourself as loved, valued, chosen, and complete, your world bends to that truth. So stop searching, stop waiting, and start imagining. Because when you do, they will chase you the same way every shadow chases the light that created it. The moment you truly grasp that imagination is not daydreaming, but creation, your world begins to shift in ways that defy logic. You see, the outer world is but a slow reflection of the inner. Everything that you are experiencing right now, the people who come into your life, the way they respond to you, the words they speak, the doors that open or close, is a perfect mirror of what you have accepted as true within yourself. That is why it is not about changing others, but about changing your conception of yourself. When you imagine yourself as loved, pursued, and wanted, you begin to awaken something powerful within you. You no longer walk with the energy of waiting, hoping, or yearning. You walk as one who already is. You look at the world differently. The air feels lighter. Your voice carries more confidence. Your steps feel guided. You don't have to convince anyone to love you, because your energy does the speaking. The vibration of certainty is far louder than words. The world hears it, and so does the one your heart desires. The mind that once said, "I hope they notice me," transforms into the knowing that says, "Of course they do." The difference is subtle but sacred. One comes from lack, the other from power. One says, "I need to be loved," while the other says, "I am love itself." When you dwell in the feeling of already being chosen, something magnetic stirs within you. People begin to see in you what you finally see in yourself. You have been taught to chase, to convince, to prove your worth. But none of that is necessary when you align with the truth of your being. You are the one with the power to call things that are not yet seen into being, simply by assuming they already exist. That's the mystery of creation. You are not waiting for love to find you. You are the source of the love that calls them in. When you imagine being adored, you begin to radiate an energy that draws others toward you. You start to glow differently. It is not something you can fake. It is not something you can force. It's the effortless magnetism of a soul that has remembered its own value. That is the energy that makes people wonder why they can't stop thinking of you. It's the energy that compels them to reach out, to want to be near you, to chase you. But here's the divine paradox. You will not reach that point by trying to get them to chase you. You will reach it by letting go of the need for them to do so. You reach it when you stop imagining from the standpoint of being unwanted and start imagining from the standpoint of being fulfilled. You must stop looking outward for confirmation and begin to live inwardly in the reality you wish to experience. The outer world cannot resist the inner conviction of one who knows. When you imagine yourself as the beloved and you sustain that feeling with faith, the entire universe reconfigures itself to reflect your assumption. That is not fantasy, that is law. It is the divine law of correspondence. As within, so without. So, when I say they will chase you the moment you imagine this, I am not speaking of tricking or manipulating another person. I am speaking of transforming yourself into the version of you that no longer needs to be chased, because that version is so magnetic, so whole, so complete, that others are drawn to your light without resistance. They are not responding to your words. They are responding to your state of being. Every event in your life is the outpicturing of your inner assumptions. If you assume that you are overlooked, life will show you scenes that prove it. If you assume that you are irresistible, life will echo that truth through faces, messages, and circumstances that confirm it. The one you want begins to feel a pull they cannot explain. They feel drawn to you in ways that defy reason. It's not your appearance that captures them. It's the energy of your certainty. You must, therefore, become the keeper of your inner world. Guard it as you would your most sacred treasure. Every time doubt whispers, "What if they don't care?" answer it with, "They already do." Every time fear says, "What if I'm not enough?" answer it with, "I am already complete." The repetition of these inner truths rewires your consciousness until it becomes natural to feel desired. And when that happens, you begin to move differently. You don't wait for messages. You expect them. You don't worry about being forgotten. You rest in the knowing that you are unforgettable. The power of imagination is not in hoping but in feeling. Feel the end so deeply that your senses begin to believe it's real. When you close your eyes and imagine, you are entering the workshop of creation. You are stepping into the invisible dimension where all realities exist. In that sacred space, you can choose the state you wish to occupy. You can choose to feel adored, wanted, and pursued right now. You don't need to know how it will happen. The how is never your concern. The moment you decide and feel, creation begins. There is something extraordinary that happens when you fully surrender to your imagination. The tension leaves your body. The need to control outcomes dissolves. You move from forcing to allowing. You begin to trust that your assumption is already reality, and that trust becomes a magnet. The more you rest in that inner knowing, the more the outer world begins to reflect it. You will notice subtle shifts, small signs at first. A thought crosses your mind, and suddenly they appear. You release the worry, and suddenly they text you. You feel calm, and suddenly you receive a message that mirrors your inner peace. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your inner world is the blueprint. When you live from the end, life becomes effortless. You stop chasing what is already yours. You stop seeking validation, because you already possess it within. You stop trying to convince others to love you, because love becomes your natural state of being. You radiate a calm power that needs no explanation. Do not underestimate the power of imagination. Everything you have ever experienced began first as an idea, a picture in the mind. Every great love story began with someone daring to imagine being loved. Every fulfilled dream began with someone refusing to let the visible world dictate what was possible. So what is it you must imagine? Imagine yourself waking up to messages of love. Imagine the joy of being thought of. Imagine the warmth of their voice, the spark in their eyes, the way your presence affects them. But most importantly, imagine the feeling of being that person who already has it. Let that feeling become familiar, even ordinary. Because the moment it feels natural, it is done. You must make the invisible more real to you than the visible. Let the unseen state of being loved feel more alive than the temporary illusion of separation. That is how creation works. What you accept as true inwardly will always harden into fact outwardly. The universe does not care about what you want. It responds to what you assume. It responds to the version of yourself you dare to inhabit. So if you want to be chaste, imagine yourself as the one who cannot be ignored. If you want to be desired, imagine yourself as the one who radiates an irresistible energy. Feel it until it becomes your reality. You must refuse to entertain the old story. Refuse to see yourself as unwanted or forgotten. Every time you catch your mind returning to lack, stop and redirect it. Speak from your new identity. I am desired. I am chosen. I am loved. Say it until the world has no choice but to echo it back. Every assumption sustained faithfully must manifest. That is the eternal promise of creation. You may not see immediate results, but do not waver. Do not dig up the seed to check if it's growing. Trust that your imagination has already set everything in motion. The call will come, the message will arrive, the moment will unfold naturally. And when it does, it will seem effortless. They will say they suddenly thought of you, that they felt drawn to reach out, that something reminded them of you. But deep down, you will know it wasn't chance. It was your assumption crystallizing into reality. The universe is perfectly ordered. It responds only to the feeling you occupy most often. So if you want them to chase you, don't look outward. Look within. Because the chase begins the moment you stop chasing. It begins the moment you imagine yourself as the one already adored. That feeling emits a silent frequency, a vibration that says, I am already loved. And that vibration cannot go unanswered. When you live from the state of the wish fulfilled, life begins to obey you. You will see the world mirror your inner certainty. You will find people drawn to you, for reasons they cannot explain. You will witness your imagination shaping reality in real time. And you will finally understand the truth, that nothing was ever missing, nothing was ever delayed. Everything was waiting for you to assume it so. You are not small. You are not powerless. You are the dreamer of the dream. The outer world has no choice but to yield to your inner conviction. So let go of doubt, let go of need, and step into the feeling of already having it. Let your imagination do the work. Because once you imagine it vividly enough, once you embody it completely, they will chase you, drawn not to the mask you wear, but to the energy of your divine completeness. This is the sacred secret of manifestation. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you believe yourself to be. Become the embodiment of love, and love will pursue you. Become the living proof of abundance, and abundance will surround you. Become the one who already has, and all that you desire must follow. So close your eyes tonight and imagine it, not as a hope, but as a truth. Imagine the message, the smile, the affection. Feel it now, not tomorrow. Let it sink into your consciousness until it feels inevitable, because it is inevitable. Once you imagine it, once you accept it as real, it's already done. The rest of the world is simply catching up. And when they come to you, when they chase you, reach for you, and speak the words your heart longed to hear, you will smile quietly, because you will know it wasn't magic. It was law. It was your imagination, faithfully held, bringing forth the invisible into the visible. It was you, always you, writing the script of your own love story. When you begin to understand that imagination is not just an idle tool, but the very womb of creation, you realize how sacred every thought truly is. You stop treating your inner world as a playground of fleeting desires and begin to guard it as the birthplace of all things visible. Every image, every emotion, every assumption you hold becomes a seed that will sooner or later bloom in the garden of your life. And once you see this, you no longer chase, because you know chasing is born of fear, and fear cannot create love. What draws others to you is not your pursuit, but your peace. When you stop grasping for love, love begins to grasp for you. The one who once seemed distant begins to sense your energy shift. You no longer look for signs of attention. You carry the quiet assurance that you are already the center of it. You no longer wait for validation. You live as though you are already validated by something greater than human approval. That state is irresistible because it's rooted in wholeness. Imagine how the energy around you changes when you stop asking, "Do they think of me?" and start affirming, "They can't stop thinking of me." The energy of certainty is not loud, but it's unshakable. You begin to walk differently. You hold your head differently. The way you speak carries a vibration that the subconscious of others recognizes immediately. They feel drawn to you, not because you demanded their attention, but because your consciousness declared, "I am the one they love." Every person is a mirror reflecting your own self-concept. The moment you change what you believe about yourself in relation to another, they must reflect that change back to you. It's not manipulation, it's divine law. You are not bending another's will. You are awakening to the truth that there is only one consciousness expressing itself through many forms. When you shift your inner state, their behavior automatically aligns with the new story you hold. This is why you must treat your imagination with reverence. What you think and feel about yourself in silence is what the world must echo in form. You might think, "But I've imagined before and nothing happened." That's because you imagined it as a wish, not as a fact. There's a vast difference between hoping and knowing. The world responds not to your words but to your conviction. You must move from wanting to being. You must dare to feel that it's already done. When you persist in the feeling of being loved, you enter the frequency of completion. That is the vibration that calls forth the miracle. That is when doors open, calls arrive, hearts soften, and paths cross at the perfect time. You do not have to control the details, life will handle them. All that's required is that you stay faithful to your inner vision. So, what does it mean to imagine this? the very thing that will make them chase you. It means to see yourself from the end, already fulfilled, already chosen, already celebrated. It means to feel the warmth of being wanted, the security of being valued, the peace of knowing that love is already yours. Let that feeling live in you as reality. Let it become the new normal of your inner being. There is something magnetic about a person who no longer doubts their worth. When you know who you are, you radiate a silent confidence that others cannot resist. They feel safe in your presence because you are not seeking to take. You are overflowing with love. That overflow becomes attraction. The one you desire will feel it. They will begin to sense your absence when you are silent. They will think of you at random moments. They will dream of you, because what you hold in imagination is not hidden, it's transmitted. Everything in this universe vibrates to the frequency of your dominant feeling. If your feeling is one of lack, life mirrors lack. If your feeling is one of possession, life mirrors abundance. The secret is that you must dwell in the wish fulfilled, not occasionally, but consistently. You must live from the end until the end feels inevitable. Imagine lying in bed at night, feeling the weight of love surrounding you. Imagine the joy of being seen, cherished, and pursued. Don't force it. Feel it. Feel it so vividly that your body begins to respond, as though it's already happening. That's when creation takes place. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. Once it accepts a feeling as fact, it rearranges every circumstance to bring that fact into visible experience. You are not powerless. You are the creative center of your own world. You can rewrite any story simply by assuming a new identity. Stop saying, "They don't notice me," and begin saying, "They are drawn to me more and more every day." Stop saying, "I'm waiting for them to come," and start declaring, "They can't resist reaching out to me." Let your inner dialogue match the version of you who is already loved. There's no limit to what imagination can do. The only limits are those you impose by disbelief. Every time you doubt, you delay. Every time you fear, you freeze creation. But every time you feel the wish fulfilled, even for a moment, you accelerate it. You call it closer. You magnetize it. Do not be fooled by appearances. The visible world is just the shadow of what you've previously imagined. If things seem silent, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means the invisible has already begun to move. The roots of the unseen are growing beneath the soil of your faith. That's why you must remain still inside. You must not uproot what you've planted by speaking against it or doubting it. Your faith is the sun that nourishes your creation. You can test this easily. Spend one day walking as though you are the most desired person in the world. Speak softly, smile often, carry yourself as though someone is thinking of you in this very moment. Don't do it to get a reaction. Do it because it feels good to embody love. Watch how people begin to respond. Watch how eyes linger, how conversations flow differently, how life seems to open. It is not coincidence, it is resonance. When you feel love within, the world must mirror love without. When you feel chased within, the world must bring someone who chases you. But if you feel forgotten within, you will meet only circumstances that echo that feeling. The outer world is obedient to the inner state. It has no choice. This is the true art of creation, to dwell in the unseen with unwavering faith. The moment you say, "I am," creation begins. So choose your "I am" statements carefully. Say, "I am loved," and you invite love. Say, "I am desired," and desire comes. Say, "I am chosen," and life rearranges itself to prove it. Every affirmation is a seed. Speak only what you wish to harvest. Sometimes people say, "But what if I'm imagining and they don't respond?" That's not your concern. You're not imagining to get, you're imagining to become. The response is inevitable when you become the embodiment of your desire. It might come from the person you think of, or someone even better, someone who mirrors the new vibration more purely. Trust that what you imagine in love will never return void. Do not imagine from a place of need. Imagine from the satisfaction of already having. The energy of need repels. but the energy of fulfillment attracts. It is only when you are full that the world rushes to reflect your fullness. So fill yourself first, with love, with certainty, with peace. Let your imagination be saturated with the reality of your desire already complete. Your inner world is sacred ground. Each time you close your eyes and see yourself as loved, you are performing a divine act. You are calling something unseen into visibility. You are aligning with the creative force that built galaxies and whispered life into form. That same power lives in you, waiting for your command. You have always been the one creating. Every heartbreak, every triumph, every delay, all were reflections of the assumptions you carried. But the beautiful truth is that you can change it all now. You can assume a new state, and the world must conform. You can choose to believe that you are already adored, and the person who once ignored you will begin to see you anew. They will wonder what changed, not realizing that your consciousness changed first. Let this truth settle deep within you. Nothing stands between you and your desire, but your assumption that you don't have it. The moment you imagine yourself as already possessing it, the bridge of events begins to unfold. You don't have to manipulate or plan. Life will arrange itself in miraculous ways. You may bump into them unexpectedly. You may receive an unexpected message. You may dream something that later becomes fact. Every path will lead you to the fulfillment of your imagination. Be gentle with yourself during this process. You are learning to walk in a new dimension. The dimension of creation, not reaction. You are learning to act from the unseen, to trust the invisible more than the visible. At first it may feel strange to assume what you cannot yet see, but persist. The feeling will become natural, and when it does, that is your sign that manifestation is near. You will know it's working when peace replaces anxiety. You will know it's close when you stop caring whether it's close. You will know it's done when you stop asking, when? Because when the state becomes natural, reality must bow to it. That's when life brings you proof, not as a reward, but as a reflection. So, imagine yourself being chased not because you are lacking something, but because you are overflowing with presence. Imagine yourself as the embodiment of love, so complete that others are magnetically drawn to your energy. Imagine your name lighting up their mind like a spark they cannot extinguish. Imagine them realizing that what they've been searching for was you all along. Feel it as true. Let it live in you until your heart believes it. This is the creative power of consciousness. It does not fail. It does not forget. The only question is whether you will persist in the feeling long enough to see it. Most give up too soon. They return to the old story. But not you. You know now that your imagination is the cause. You know that the outer world is the effect. So hold your vision with tenderness. Keep your faith alive through feeling. And when doubt arises, remember, the moment you imagine this, creation begins. The love you seek is already seeking you. The moment you claim it inwardly, it starts moving toward you. You don't have to chase what is already yours. You simply have to remember it. Your imagination is the bridge between desire and fulfillment. The more you dwell in the feeling of being loved, the faster the bridge appears beneath your feet. So keep imagining, keep feeling, keep living from the end, because unseen hands are already arranging the details. The one who seemed far away is already being moved toward you. The universe is conspiring in your favor, aligning every event to meet your assumption. And when it finally happens, when they reach for you, when they chase you, when they can no longer hide their affection, you will smile quietly, knowing it was never about forcing anything. It was about imagining this and letting the divine power within you make it so. And so, in the end, it all returns to this one simple, eternal truth: your imagination is the key to everything you desire. You were never waiting for someone to choose you. You were waiting to remember that you are the chooser. The moment you imagine from love instead of longing, the world bends to your vision. The person, the opportunity, the relationship. All of it begins to chase the energy that you now embody. You no longer need to wonder if it will happen. because you now understand that it already has. Every image you held in faith, every feeling you nurtured in silence, has gone before you to prepare the way. Life cannot resist the one who knows. Creation cannot deny the one who feels it real. So hold this truth close. They will chase you the moment you imagine yourself as already loved, already desired, already whole. You don't need to do more. You only need to be more within. Let your imagination be the stage where your miracle unfolds. Walk as though it's done. Speak as though it's yours. And rest as though the universe has already said yes. Because it has. The moment you imagined it, creation began. The moment you believed it, it became law. And soon, what once lived only in the unseen will stand before you in undeniable form. Then you will know you were never chasing them. You were awakening to the power that makes them chase you. Close your eyes for a moment and step away from the noise of the outer world. What you desire already exists. Not out there, not in some far-off future, but here within you. The key to attracting your specific person instantly is to realize that there is no distance between you and them, no separation, except the illusion created by your senses. The moment you accept that you and your desire are one, everything shifts. Do not chase, do not beg, do not wonder when they will appear. That posture of lack only keeps them away. Instead, embody the end right now. Feel the thrill of already being with them. Imagine their hand in yours, the sound of their voice calling your name, the warmth of their love surrounding you. It is not a daydream. It is creation. The inner scene you craft becomes the reality you step into. What holds you back is not their choice, not their free will, not circumstances. It is only your assumption. You believe they are separate. You believe you must wait. You believe they must change. And so you wait endlessly. But the moment you drop those lies and step into the feeling of already mine, the energy shifts instantly. The law does not delay. It responds in this moment to the state you occupy. Think of them tonight before sleep, not with longing but with gratitude. Not with a question, but with certainty. Whisper within, I am already loved. I am already chosen. See their eyes light up when they look at you. Feel their arms holding you close. Hear their laughter filling your space. Saturate your inner world with this truth until it feels more real than anything outside. This is how you attract them now. By living as if it is already done. By refusing to argue with appearances. By holding firm in the unseen. Instantly is not measured by hours or days. It is measured by the state of your inner being. The moment you assume and persist, the bridge of events forms, and they will come to you effortlessly, as though drawn by an invisible thread. You are not waiting on them. They are waiting on your assumption. Close your eyes for a moment and allow yourself to drift beyond the surface of the world you see. The truth of your life is not written on the faces of others, nor is it sealed in the pages of circumstance. The truth lies within you, in that hidden chamber of imagination that is more real than anything your senses can touch. If you desire to attract your specific person instantly, the secret is not in chasing, convincing, or manipulating, but in recognizing the eternal principle. Everything begins and ends within consciousness. Your senses may tell you that this person is distant, unavailable, uninterested, or perhaps even opposed to you. But your senses are only reflecting the state of your inner assumptions. If you believe you must wait, then you will wait. If you believe they are separate, you will experience separation. If you believe they must change before love can flow, then you will see endless reasons to delay. Yet the moment you shift your inner state, the entire script of your life rewrites itself around you. Instantly is not measured in hours and days, but in the immediacy of the state you choose to occupy. To attract your specific person, you must claim the reality of being with them now. You must live as if it is already accomplished. This does not mean you act outwardly, in desperation, or cling to them with fear. It means you walk through life, carrying the certainty that love is already yours. It means you allow your inner world to overflow with the feeling of their presence, until the outer world has no choice but to echo back what you have accepted within. When you think of them, do not think of absence. Do not imagine them ignoring you, turning away, or being with someone else. For every time you dwell on those images, you feed the very state that keeps you apart. Instead, take control of the inner movie. Rewrite the scene. See them smiling at you, speaking words of affection, expressing their devotion. Feel the joy of their companionship. Imagine the warmth of their hand in yours, the comfort of their embrace, the delight of their voice saying your name with tenderness. Let this scene become so natural, so vivid, so alive within you that it feels more real than the room around you. The secret lies in feeling. Words alone will not change your reality. Empty affirmations repeated without emotion are like seeds cast upon stone. But when you feel the truth of your desire, as if it has already happened, when you dwell in the end with such conviction that you rest in it, then creation is finished. The outer world must bow to the inner state. It cannot resist, for the inner creates the outer. So tonight, when you lay down to sleep, do not fall into the unconscious replay of the day's disappointments. Instead, drift into the dream of fulfillment. Close your eyes and feel the joy of being loved. Whisper inwardly, "I am chosen, I am cherished, I am already theirs." And do not wait for the outer world to give you evidence before you believe. Belief is the evidence. Imagination is the proof. The unseen is the substance of all things visible. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. The how belongs not to you, but to the unseen intelligence that shapes all things. Your work is only to occupy the state of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end as though it were already true. The path will unfold in ways you cannot plan, through circumstances you could never design, through moments that seem coincidental but are divinely orchestrated. What you call coincidence is simply the law of fulfilling itself. Your specific person will be drawn to you, as though compelled by an invisible magnet. For love, once claimed inwardly, must take form outwardly. Consider the countless times in your life when what you once imagined with intensity eventually showed up, perhaps even forgotten until it appeared. You thought of someone and they called. You pictured a scene and it unfolded in your path. This is no accident. It is the law in motion. To attract your specific person instantly is to wield this law consciously, not sporadically. You decide the end, you dwell in it, and you let the unseen arrange the details. Do not be tempted by appearances. If you send a message and they do not reply, do not allow fear to take root. If you see them speaking to someone else, do not let jealousy consume you. These are shadows of an old state, the fading echoes of what you once assumed. They hold no power except the power you give them by reacting. Instead, remain faithful to your inner vision. When the outer world contradicts your desire, it is only testing your persistence. Will you cling to the truth within, or will you abandon it at the first sign of contradiction? The one who persists in imagination, regardless of appearances, always wins. You may wonder, how can it be instant if I must persist? Understand this: instant does not mean the outer picture changes in a second, though sometimes it does. Instant means the moment you shift within, creation is finished. The moment you feel it real, the law has already moved. The outer may take hours, days, or weeks to catch up, but the change itself is instant, for the seed is planted in that very moment. Do not measure with time, for time is the servant of imagination, not its master. Practice this every day, but especially as you drift to sleep, for in that drowsy state, between waking and dreaming, your mind is most receptive. Create the scene of fulfillment there. See yourself with your specific person, not as someone hoping, but as someone rejoicing in the fact it is already done. Feel their love so deeply that when you wake, the residue of joy lingers. Live your days from that residue, and you will carry a magnetism that no one can resist. Remember that love does not come from them. Love flows through you. You are not empty, waiting for another to complete you. You are fullness itself, And when you embody that fullness, the other naturally reflects it. Your specific person is drawn not because you lack, but because you overflow. The law reflects your inner state. So when you walk in the confidence of being loved, chosen, desired, and worthy, your outer world must align with that conviction. Do not beg for their affection. Do not ask the universe when they will arrive. That posture only affirms lack. Instead, command the scene within, knowing that what you see inwardly is the blueprint of what must unfold outwardly. Take your attention off waiting and place it on having. Every time you imagine from the end. Every time you think of them as already yours. Every time doubt whispers, silence it with the feeling of certainty. The instant you do this, the attraction is set in motion. You are not calling them from afar. You are recognizing the union that already exists in consciousness. They and you are not two but one, for consciousness is a single field, and in that field, you have already claimed your desire. The law simply makes visible what you have accepted as true. So walk through your day with quiet confidence. Carry the feeling of being loved wherever you go. When you pass a mirror, see the reflection of one who is already chosen. When you speak to others, let your words carry the weight of one who lives in fulfillment. When you are alone, let your imagination be filled with scenes of joy, not sorrow. You are always imagining, always creating. The choice is whether you imagine separation or union, longing or fulfillment, delay or instant manifestation. The moment you decide, the moment you feel it real, everything changes. The outer world may take a few steps to align, but do not be deceived. The instant you shift within, your specific person is already drawn to you, already on their way, already feeling the pull toward you in ways they cannot explain. They may call it chance, but you will know it is the law. They may say they simply felt compelled, but you will know it was your assumption that summoned them. So do not wait for tomorrow. Do not place your desire in the distance. Claim it now, for now is the only moment that exists. You and your specific person are one in consciousness, and the instant you live from that truth, you attract them effortlessly, without struggle, without delay. What you assume, you create. What you feel, you live. And what you claim inwardly, you will soon hold outwardly as the undeniable reality of your life. When you think about the one you desire, understand that the real work is not convincing them, not persuading them, not changing their mind, but changing the atmosphere of your own inner world. For they can only respond to the vibration you carry, and that vibration is determined not by your words or outward actions, but by the state you live in. If within you see yourself as unloved, unwanted, or unworthy, then no matter how much effort you put into your outer world, it will reflect rejection. But if within you rest in the assurance that you are loved, desired, and already united with them, then the world bends to match your conviction. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting across from them right now. Feel the closeness. Hear them speaking words of love to you, words that confirm what you have already accepted as truth. If you can hear them laughing, see the sparkle in their eyes, feel their hand gently reaching toward yours, then you are no longer desiring, you are having. This is the shift. Desire says, I want. Fulfillment says, I have. The instant you move from wanting to having, your attraction is instant. Many believe that their specific person must change in order for love to flow, but that is not so. They are not the cause, they are the mirror. If they appear distant, it is because you are assuming distance. If they appear cold, it is because you are assuming rejection. And if they appear drawn to you, affectionate and close, it is because you have assumed union. This is why the key lies not in chasing them, but in chasing your own assumptions, in taming your inner dialogue. What do you say to yourself when you think of them? Do you say, why don't they call me? Why don't they love me? That inner conversation will only be echoed in their silence. Or do you say within, they love speaking to me, they can't stop thinking of me, they adore me? That inner dialogue will soon find itself spoken through their lips. All creation is speech, whether silent or spoken. and the words you repeat within yourself form the reality you walk into. Let us say you long to receive a message from them tonight. Do not sit staring at your phone, anxious and waiting. Instead, close your eyes and imagine holding your phone in your hand. Feel the buzz of the notification. See their name on the screen. Feel the joy rush through your body as you open it and read their words of love. Rest in that feeling as you drift to sleep. In that state, you are no longer waiting. You are already experiencing. And because you have experienced it within, the outer world must deliver it in due time. You may ask, but what if I have no sign? What if days pass and nothing happens? This is the test of persistence. The seed planted does not sprout the moment you drop it into the soil. Yet the moment you plant it, the process has begun. Do not dig up the seed in doubt. Let it take root in the invisible. Live as if it is already done, and the manifestation must come forth. The danger is in believing the senses. If you see them posting about someone else, your heart may tremble. If you hear they are with another, you may despair. But these appearances are not permanent. They are only shadows of what you once assumed. The law is unfailing. Change the assumption, and the shadow must fade. What is seen is temporary, but what is felt and believed within is eternal. When you persist in the state of being loved, the outer circumstances will bow, no matter how fixed they seem. Think of water carving its way through stone. The stone appears solid, immovable, impossible to change. Yet water, persistent and gentle, reshapes it over time. Your assumption is the water. The outer world, however solid, cannot resist it forever. And unlike stone, the world of appearances is much quicker to yield, for it is only the projection of thought. If you wish to attract them instantly, live in the end now. Imagine waking up with them by your side. Feel the comfort of knowing they are yours. Carry that sense with you into every room you enter, into every conversation you hold. Do not wait until they arrive to feel loved. Feel loved now. Do not wait until they confess their feelings to feel chosen. Feel chosen now. In the unseen, it is already true, and the unseen is always the first reality. Consider a simple exercise. Tonight, as you rest, create a short scene that would imply your desire is fulfilled. Perhaps it is them saying, "I love you." Perhaps it is you both walking hand in hand. Perhaps it is the two of you laughing together at something only you share. Keep the scene short, vivid, and full of feeling. Replay it in your mind until you drift into sleep. The drowsy state is powerful, for it opens the door between the conscious and the subconscious. In that state, what you imagine is planted as fact, and the subconscious accepts it without resistance. That seed, once accepted, must bring forth fruit. You may think, but what if they do not want me? What if their will is against mine? Do not be deceived by such thoughts, for there is only one will, the will of the state you assume. They are not separate from your consciousness. They are part of it. To believe they resist you is to assume separation. To assume union is to recognize that their desire and your desire are already one. What you claim within, they must reflect without. Let us look at an example. Suppose you feel neglected, and every time you speak to them, they seem distracted. If you continue to imagine yourself neglected, the behavior will persist. But if, instead, you begin to imagine them attentive, loving, eager to hear your words, then their behavior must shift. They may not even know why, but suddenly they will feel drawn to you, attentive to you, captivated by you, for your assumption has called it forth. The world is not against you. It is for you. It is only a mirror of your inner world. Do not curse the mirror for the reflection it shows. Change the face you wear within, and the reflection must change. If you hold bitterness, the world will echo bitterness. If you hold love, the world will echo love. Your specific person is only reflecting what you have assumed to be true. When doubt arises, as it often will, do not fight it with fear. Simply return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Replace the inner scene of rejection with one of affection. Replace the inner dialogue of, "What if it never happens?" with, "It is already mine." The key is not to fight the darkness, but to light the lamp. Darkness cannot resist the light. it vanishes instantly. So it is with doubt. Do not wrestle with it, but gently return your mind to the scene of fulfillment. Sometimes the quickest way to shift is through gratitude. When you thank the unseen, as if it has already delivered, you align yourself with the vibration of having. Whisper inwardly, "Thank you that they love me. Thank you that we are together. Thank you that our union is complete." Gratitude dissolves resistance, for it implies fulfillment. The heart that is grateful cannot simultaneously doubt. Gratitude is the language of the fulfilled. Do not mistake silence for absence. Often, while you see nothing on the surface, everything is moving beneath. Just as the seed germinates unseen before it breaks through the soil, so your desire is taking form long before it shows in the outer world. Trust this process. Trust that the instant you shifted within, the creation was complete. Walk in that trust, and soon the outer will reveal what you have known inwardly. Many have attracted their specific person in this way, and they marvel at how suddenly it happened. They say, "I don't know why they reached out, they just did." They say, "It felt like they couldn't stop thinking of me." And indeed, they could not, for you had already written the script within. You had already rehearsed the scene in your imagination, and they simply played their part without knowing why. They felt the pull, for consciousness is one, and what you impress upon it must be felt by all. So release the struggle. Stop asking when. Stop asking how. Live in the joy of already having. Walk through life with the inner glow of one who is loved, cherished, and chosen. This glow will be seen in your eyes, heard in your voice, felt in your presence. It will draw them like a magnet, for nothing is more irresistible than the confidence of fulfillment. The world cannot resist the one who already has. And so, the instant you choose, the instant you feel it real, your specific person is yours. The bridge of events will unfold, whether through a call, a chance meeting, a sudden change of heart, or a series of seeming coincidences. But however it comes, it must come. For the law does not fail, and imagination never lies. What you assume inwardly is already written outwardly, waiting only for the perfect moment to reveal itself.